Hey everybody, name's Classic Man. You guys can just call me Classic for short. Today I'm going to play some Gwent. It is a free beta that you can download in the PSN store. If you've played any of the Witcher games, I've personally only played The Witcher 3 and I loved it. Probably the greatest game I've ever played. There's so much content in it. I believe it's over like 118 hours of gameplay. And that's not even including the DLCs. The DLCs were outstanding themselves. But you play this card game in there called Gwent, and I saw this beta and I tried it out and I love it because in here it's a little bit more complex, but with some time it's easier to pick up, and it's also fun and competitive, and it's free. Let's not forget that, guys. Alright, so what I really started working on was, let's see here, I started building different monster decks to start. That's currently still what I'm working on. I've been playing this game for probably 2 weeks now, and I love it. This is my friend, Francisco. I make fun of him, call him Franny because it pisses him off, let him play a deck. Now he's playing too. This is one of the two that I've been working on. So this is the Consumption Prototype deck. So the Consumption deck, obviously, the main strategy is to consume. Whereas Weather deck, not consumes. The Weather deck uses certain types of weather to hurt the other team's players and cards. It damages them quite exponentially. So I will start off with the Weather prototype deck for now, and we'll take a look at that and talk about what's in there, what I put in there. Now this is just me, you guys can do whatever you want, but this is with the cards I have available, what I felt like would work best. So as you can see, I start off with 3 Foglets because of the max amount you can have in a deck of any card is 3. And the reason why I had these guys, you will find out later. Sooner rather than later. Now I got 2 of these guys. You can put up to 3 in there, but I chose 2. Because I wanted to make room for all of these other guys. And every time you put down one of these, it puts down a Biting Frost card to the other side of the row. And if you first of all, you have to have it in your deck. That is a big thing. Put it in your deck, because if you don't put it in your deck, you're going to fuck up, to be blunt. What the Biting Frost does is that an entire row, so say all of these cards are somehow on a row. If I put down this Biting Frost right up here, if I put this right there, all of these cards get damaged by 1, with the exception of the gold. Those don't get damaged unless it's in a special circumstance. So all of these cards get damaged by 1 point per turn, mind you. So, you know, I believe, let me read the card. It says, you guys can read, but at the start of your turn. So basically, whenever your turn comes around, as long as that's out, it will continue to damage whatever is in that row, as long as it's not gold, by 1. And that's pretty awesome, because they have a clear weather card, say, which is right here. They can get rid of all the weather on their side of the board. If they do that, then all you got to do is bang, hit them with another one, you know? It's all about consistency, and also there's another play that'll come off of this, which I'll show you guys later. So my next one in line kind of goes with the Foglets, and this will all add up. This is the Ancient Foglet. So the point of this, and the main thing behind this, is that if you put this fog right here down, not only does it do the it's similar to the Biting Frost. You put it in a row, you damage the highest units in that row by 2 per turn, per start of your turn. So at the start of your turn, you'll keep on damaging those highest units by 2. And that's great, because if they don't clear that, these guys stay out, and then every single time it's your turn again, this guy gets a boost of 1. And that might not sound like a lot, but trust me, that's overwhelming to get this guy's numbers going up. And then not only that, but if you hit him with a Resilience card, which is pretty much you bring him to the next round right here, bang, that keeps on going, you know, and that's all about that consistency again. Not only that, but once these guys are used up, they can be resurrected. All you got to do is hit them with another fog. When you put down this fog, all of these regular Foglets come out. But when the fog goes away, they all go away as well. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Alright, so on to the next one. This one is just me personally, the Drowner. So what this card does and how it helps is, say these cards right here, it's like, oh, you know, I hit them with a fog right here, what do? You know, I want to get these cards to be damaged. Excuse me, let's come up with a better example. How about the Biting Frost? The Biting Frost, oh, you know, I got them right here, what do? So in that case, you can put down this card on your side. Granted, on your side there's no, you know, Biting Frost or anything, it'll be fine. So you put it in the row where you want to move the card of your choice. So I would put this card right here. Excuse me, I just took that one away. Good thing I had this one. Ooh, and look at that, it even moves. Pretty cool. We'll talk about that later. So, if I put this here, I had the option of moving this card right here. Any of these cards can be moved. Even, you know, even more powerful cards, they can be moved right there. You know, just make sure it works out for you. Alright, so next one here. This one goes with the Biting Frost. This is the final piece to the Biting Frost with the... Yep, this is one of the big ones to the Biting Frost. If you want to have a weather deck, it's essential to have this in there. You can have up to 6 silver cards in your deck. This is one you have to have. Cannot emphasize that enough. Have to have with a weather deck. So, this guy, for all of you who have played Witcher 3, you remember this guy. Nithral. If I pronounce that wrong, please don't yell at me. So, this guy, he gains 2 armor instantly when you put him down. Not only that, but this picture looks badass. Whoever, the artist here, freaking Marta Detloff. So, this card's main purpose, and this is what I love, is when you have that Biting Frost down, rather than doing 1 point a turn, it's freaking 2 points a turn. So that amplifies, you know, if you go through, freaking cycle through 5 turns, that's 10 damage on all of these guys. You've killed all of these guys, actually, through 5 turns. If they're all right here, because some of these have to be here. Like this guy. He has to be here. You know, because you see that sword? That's what it is. It's close combat. They have to do that. Alright, so on to the next one. This is just me again. This one isn't really required for the weather deck, but it's just one I like to have in there personally based on availability of silver cards, and also I think it's a good strategy since there's not really any resilience as a part of the offense of my deck. This one kind of annoys the shit out of people, to be blunt. So this guy right here, he's also from The Witcher 3. He's from the DLC. He's from Hearts of Stone. Great storyline. I loved it. But back on track here, this guy can't die. So, let's say, you know, the guy uses a freaking bolt of lightning or whatever the hell they're called, takes off 7 damage, kills him. Next round, he comes back -2, so he'll come back as a 5. Kill him again. Next round comes back, he'll come back as a 3. So he's all about consistency. He's good to have up to annoy the hell out of the enemy, and it's also very good for round 2. I cannot talk about that enough. Round 2, this guy is great. Round 3 is great as well, but in this one, especially in round 2, say you lost round 2 and your enemy used a good amount of cards in the meantime to beat you. So round 2 starts, clean slate, nobody's on the board. This guy comes out of nowhere and your opponent already passed. He's passing for the reason that he wants to save cards. You got this guy down, you can pass too, and you can win the round. You don't have to have that normal disadvantage of putting down another card. Alright, so, next one. This one I actually just bought today. I put him in here because I think he's great, especially when you're facing specific decks like Skellige and in other cases, all the fellow monster decks. This card's great because you put him down, he's gold, he's my first gold card in this deck, so you can't touch him. Unless you use a, I don't know what it's called, but it's got freaking handcuffs on it. It's a lock. And it turns him to a silver, this guy. Then he can be touched. But that's not the point here. And by the way, that circle, you know, the arrows rotating around, that means you can put it anywhere. But this guy right here is awesome because say your enemy has, let me just look in my ones that aren't in the deck here. Let's say your enemy has a Alright, yeah, we'll use this guy. A Catacon. So you can take him from his graveyard. By the way, that's another thing from the graveyard, and we'll talk about graveyard strategies more in the consumption deck. That is a major part of the consumption deck, but in this case, it's also going to come in handy. So let's say it's a Catacon. So what you get to do is you put down the 4, and then you put down the 5, the Catacon, and from any graveyard, actually, you get to consume a unit from there. And that's awesome, because think about it, the weakest card you're going to find in the graveyard is a 2, which is rare, you know, because both sides are using strong cards. So you'd say it's a 5. Okay, then you got a 4 and a 10 next to each other now, you know. Let's say it's average, you know, typically it's a 7. So you got a freaking 12 and a 4 next to each other. That is a 16-point play. That is impeccable. Alright, next one. This one's more offense-based. I love it because it drives people nuts. I can feel the pain from my freaking foes when I do this card, because it hurts them that much. Alright, this one is a drug. So, you put that guy down. You can put him down anywhere you want. Instantly damages 6 points to random units. And it also ignores their armor, which is pretty awesome. Now this card I like to use on Skellige decks specifically, and I bring up Skellige because they're annoying as hell. And yeah, this is great against Skellige decks because they put down that freaking bear that, you know, it does 1 damage every time you deploy it. That's a 6. You put this down, kills it, if it's the only card on the deck, granted. So this card is great for offense because overall you're getting a 13-point gain from this card. It really can change the tide, especially late in the game when there's few cards on the deck in round 3. This breaks our heart because 9 times out of 10 they can't do anything about this card. Alright, this one is actually a starter card. When you get the game, this is the first monster legendary card you get. It is from also from The Witcher 3. I won't spoil it for you guys, but you know, this guy is interesting. So, Imlerith, Imlerith, I think. Please don't yell at me if I fucked up. But this guy, you can put him on any row. He's another gold. He's my 2nd gold. Yep, no, 3rd gold. Oh, 3rd gold. And this also comes into play with Biting Frost. Say that another unit had to get put down in Biting Frost and they're boosting it to keep it alive. Well, guess what? If this guy freaking hits a guy in Biting Frost, his normal damage he does to an enemy of 4 spikes up and doubles to an 8. So pretty much you're taking out a card by itself on average if you put this card down. This card I like to put in place specifically when there's Biting Frost. I'll do them one after another personally. Because think about it. If you're on the other side and somebody puts a Biting Frost, you're going to put down the cards to avoid that. If you put them down consecutively, it's a little harder. Alright, so this one I bought a couple days ago. I saved up for it. I had to sell almost a whole deck. I sold Scoia'tael. I sold a lot of those cards because I don't use them personally. But this guy's phenomenal. This guy, I'm not trying to brag too much, but round 3, I don't keep on using that term again, but I'm pretty clutch most of the time. I have the specific cards in my hand to take the game, whether it be, well, you're going to have to watch the next card deck here until I tell you that, but this is one of the 2 that I mainly use. This guy, I believe, is from Witcher 2, and correct me if I'm wrong, obviously. But this guy right here, you look in your deck, as long as it's not another gold card, because gold cards don't consume gold cards, or nobody consumes a gold card. This is a consumption card, which will work better with my consumption deck, but here it's just so clutch that I can use it for this. So say that you have, let's go back a little. Say you have 2 cards in your hand. It's 20 to zip right now. You know, he just destroyed your card to end his turn. You know, he had a Scorch card and you had like a 25, you were on the lead. So it's 20 to zip right now, he's up. What you do, if you have these 2 cards, or you know, any other card like this, but I'm just using this as an example, is you pick out this guy right here, the 8, and he consumes this card. That makes it a 15. Hold up, that's not all. This is the best part right here. On top of consuming, no matter what it is, it could be a 1, it could be a 2, in this case it'll be a 7. It adds another 8 to that. So, at the very minimum, if you're consuming a 1, this is going to be a freaking 17-point play. In this case, it's going to be a 22-point play. So you win. And not only that, but this card can't be touched by weather because it's freaking... it's gold. It's legendary. So that's pretty clutch right there. That is a great card to have, but it's very expensive. It costs 800 scraps to get that. That's about a week's savings of scraps. Take it from somebody who had to buy some. Okay, now this is the very last card that plays in the Frost. And this is just a nice boost to have. Anytime you have Frost on the deck, on the board, you put these guys down. They both get a boost of 5 each. So these are 10-point cards right here. This is quite handy to have. You know, if you play these cards right, I don't see why you couldn't beat someone into submission every time. Especially if they don't have this guy. And a lot of people don't have First Light. I mean, they do have it, but they choose not to put it in their deck. Because a lot of people, including myself, think, oh, you know, I'm not going to need that. Alright, so here's another one that's nice. It's a silver. And I like this card because you're doing a little bit of damage. That's cool. But also you have options. You can clear skies. You can get the freaking weather out of there. You know, if anybody's messing with your units. You can do torrential rain, and that's also handy. If you use this card in the... think about it. If you use this card in the beginning with the deck that I have, all you're doing is forcing him to put cards somewhere else where you're going to put down that Biting Frost, and you're going to use Ilmarith and the 8 damage. You're going to use those freaking Ice Giants. It's looking good for you, you know. You're going to put down the other freaking Wild Hunt who's got who'll boost it up to 2 damage. It's looking good for you. And if that doesn't work, say you're facing someone who has a crap ton of weak units down, you know. They are using a consumption deck, which you guys will see pretty soon here. They're using a consumption deck, and they're using, so they have a bunch of Arcuses down, alright? Which are the little freaking spider-looking things. I don't like spiders. Those are worth 3 each. And trust me, from somebody who uses it personally, there are times where I will have nearly 15 of those bad boys down at the same time. That's 45 points right there. That's pretty nuts. Yeah, trust me, the right play, you'll use that. And you can actually, if you look at some of my videos, you can see where I take it in the strategy in that case, because it's a lot of explaining. I'll explain it to you later. That Lacerate down there, right on the bottom, 3 damage to all units in that row, with the exception of gold, obviously. That's awesome in this case. The reason why I don't have it in my deck is because 9 times out of 10, again, not even 9 times, probably 9.5 times, pretty much almost every time someone plays me with a monster deck, I beat them. Based on, you know, obviously we're being matched on skill level, but, you know, I got home field advantage here, man. I know what I'm doing, and if they got some different tactics, I'll look at them, man. And, you know, it's usually a pretty good game. I like learning from other people who play. You know, I've lost some pretty hard ones, and I've won some pretty damn good ones, which are on my page. You guys can check them out if you'd like. There's a lot more I gotta post. But I'm actually going to be doing a co-ownership with a gaming company called Critics of New York Gaming. They're called Kong. They've been doing this for probably about 5 years now, maybe 6. And they're very good. And I am going to merge with them. And we're going to talk about Gwent. We're going to talk about NBA2K. I love 2K. I'm a big NBA fan. Go Miami Heat. We're getting Gordon Hayward, baby. Just watch. And I'm planning on doing maybe some Call of Duty when that comes out. Call of Duty World War II. I'm not that big into Call of Duty. I mean, the last Call of Duty that I was really into was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Black Ops 3, but it wasn't as good as the old ones. That's just me. Modern Warfare 1 was the best way to go. But World War II, you know, brings my hopes up, so I'm going to try that one out. But back on schedule here. This card is good. Alright. This is the clutch card. The cards that you need. You need these if you're going to do a monster deck. I don't care what you're doing. Consumption, weather, doing whatever the hell you want. You know, you need these cards right here. All three of them. Maybe not all at the same time, but preferably get them all at the same time. Now, they are silver, and you can only have 6 silver cards in your deck, which means that you can, you know, this takes up about half of it. Now, what I will say is that these cards right here add up to a 20-point play, all within one. You don't need these cards all in your hand at the same time. All that you need is one of them. It doesn't matter which one either, and it's cool because if they're in order, they form the cauldron. But this is a card that I'll save specifically for the 3rd round. And the reason for that is because that I can't tell you how many videos I've recorded where we're both down to 1 card. You know, they're up by a little bit. They might even be up by 10 or 15. I put this card down, it breaks their heart, man. I can't. It's happened to me before too, but not anymore. You put this card down, 20 points, 1 card. It does not get better than that. If you're getting a monster deck, you need to get these cards right here. And they're about 200 scraps each. I was fortunate enough to get one of these in a card keg and then build the rest by myself. Trust me, it only gets easier when you play more. Alright, so get this card. I cannot emphasize that enough. And that is it for my weather deck. Now, on to the next one, and my favorite one, the consumption deck. That is my main deck. This is my main deck right here, but I've actually been using this one. This one actually has been pretty well. Let's try it out, shall we? The boss I have for this, the leader, is the Unseen Elder. And this guy is good because he consumes 3 people of your choice, as long as they're not gold or, quote, gold or legendary, obviously. And he won't have any boost or anything, but he'll consume him themselves. And this is a great defensive play when you have weather on the other row, or if you just want to protect your cards from getting damage, because once again you cannot damage legendary / gold cards. So you consume them by this guy. Not only that, but oh, there are so many plays in this deck, man. Just wait. Alright, let's start off with one of the most important ones, the Necker. That's why I have 3 of them. You can have up to 3 cards in a deck. The Necker is obviously one of the main monsters from The Witcher, and the Necker here is so essential because every time you consume a card with these bad boys, or any, these are the main ones that I use, but any of these bad boys get consumed or anything, this card gets a boost. Oh yeah, so does this one and this one. And you know, that seems kind of tedious at first when I put it out there, because you just think about to yourself, you know, what if this card gets destroyed? Wow, that's really shitty, you know? I just put all that work in for nothing. That's where you're wrong, kids. Because when that card dies, this one comes out. And when this card dies, this one comes out. That is the awesome thing about this, is that when this card dies, another one comes out. They keep on coming till all of your cards are dead or discarded. So, I should just say into the graveyard, not discarded, because if they're discarded, they're put back into your deck. As long as these bad boys are into your deck, they will keep coming out. Now, with that being said, I'm going to skip a couple cards here, come back to them. This one goes hand in hand with this one. This is the Necker Warrior, also from The Witcher. These are all from The Witcher, but you know, these are kind of frequently known. So this guy right here, you put him down, and he makes duplicates. He makes 2 duplicates. I just said that really weird. 2 duplicates of any bronze card of your choice that's currently on your board. So always, always, always have these 2 hand in hand. I should probably put another one of these guys in here just to increase my odds of getting one. But you put this guy down, and he'll make 2 more of these, which is awesome, because sometimes you have no choice. You know, you'll reshuffle your cards, you'll have 2 of these guys down. That's okay, because if the round ends, and this is what I love, if the round ends, these guys are out there boosted, say, by 7 each. You know, and that's not like, okay, I consume once, one of them goes up. You consume once, all of these goes up, including the ones that aren't even in play. So these two right here say the round ends, they both get discarded. You know, they both go to your graveyard. Two more come up. Two more of the clones you just made right here, those will come up in their place. Not just one like normal, two now. Two that have been boosted. And it's a huge advantage. Because not only that, but say they use some freaking burn card on it, because it gets so... I call it burn cards. They're called scorch cards, but I call them burn cards too. But say they use a scorch card because it gets so powerful. Guess what? They just wasted a freaking scorch card. You got yourself another one, you know. With this in play, you have up to 5 of these bad boys now. These things get extremely overwhelming if you play your cards right. It is awesome. It is essential to a consumption deck once you get it more developed. Alright, now this one here is nice. This toggles resilience. You can move your card anywhere in the row. So say you consume a lot of cards, you got a card that's like a 13. And it's the next round, the guy passed because you just blew him out because of how much you consumed. You put this bad boy down, and let's say he's a siege, so he's up here. So say this guy's like a 16. I can put this down. I can choose to consume him anywhere on the board that I want. So I can put this card down, say right here. And I'm sorry this might be kind of confusing. I'm trying to explain it the best that I can. So it'll consume the card of your choice. So I'll consume the strongest one. It'll put it right here. Not only do you get a boost to all these guys for doing that, but this card, your new card, which gets an additional 3 points because it's with this, and say... You know, it's at 16. It would become a 19. It would go to the next round because of the resilience on it. It wouldn't be that still, unfortunately. It would be a Ikimara instead. Ikimara. Something like that. Alright, now, these ones right here are making breaks. Excuse me, ignore the Necker Warrior. But these guys go hand in hand. The Solano Harpy and the Vron Warrior. So these guys go hand in hand. With these guys, you put these down. It's cool because he flaps his wings and everything. And they instantly spawn 2 Harpy eggs. And you guys are probably thinking, oh, what the heck, you know, it's only one. You know, it's only one each. That's a 6-point play. You know, who cares? Well, get this. If you guys read that fine little print, pretty much what it says is that when it gets consumed, it'll boost the unit that's consuming it by an additional 5 on top of the 1. Not only that, but it spits out a harpy, a small harpy, so it's a 3. So you, my friend, just did a, let's think here, 4 plus 2, that's 6, plus 3, that's 9, plus 5, and that's not even including the unit that's consumed it. That's freaking... I just lost track here, but 3, 5, 4. Oh, it's too late for this. Pretty much, you're getting a 10 plus play out of doing that. And then not only that, but if you have the right unit for consumption, and that's why I have 3 of these, because think about that. That is a total of 6 eggs. That's awesome. And then you have these guys right here. Whoops. Yeah, I got these guys right here that'll consume the unit to their right every 2 turns. And I always put these guys right next to these guys, because every 2 turns it'll go and consume the next egg. And this guy will only get stronger and stronger, and eventually your opponent goes, oh shit, this is overwhelming, what am I going to do? I don't have any weather cards. And if they do have weather cards, then guess what? Clear that weather. If you can't, then consume this guy using your leader card. You can move him to a different row by consuming him, or you can put him right in there, do a little taunt, just be like, you know, ha, you can't touch me because, you know, I'm gold, I don't get affected by weather. That is a smart thing to do to preserve your points. So, oops, I accidentally put him back. Don't want to put him back because he is really good. Alright. So, what you do is, say it's the end of the round again, you know, oh boy, you know, I just built up. There's times where I've literally gotten this guy up to the 30s, maybe the 40s, but I can tell you for sure the 30s. And the guy submits, you know, I beat him by a little bit, I beat him by a lot, doesn't matter. So I have this 30-point guy right here, this Vron Warrior, and what I'll do is, I'll use this. That guy becomes a 33-point guy, and he goes to the next round. you have a 33-point advantage starting the next round. Think about it. That's about 3 cards at least right there. Probably more. That is great on your part, even if you're down a couple cards. You know, if you say you're down 2 or not 3. 3's kind of pushing it, but 1 or 2 cards. You know, you have a huge advantage by doing that. And this one, you know, kind of gives you a cool graphic. So, this one I like to use at the end of plays. This one I like to use in the 3rd round specifically. And this is when you have a lot of dead units. So, this guy right here, he'll consume all of the units in your graveyard. And he'll consume them by 1 point each. When he does that, it'll get boosted up by... There's times where I literally have 20 dead, you know, infantry units. I don't want to call them infantry. I should say units. About 20 dead units in my card. That is a 22-point play. Mind you, it takes 1 turn to do, though. So if they don't kill this thing immediately, bang. Extra 20-something points right there. And, let me see here. I was looking for a relevant card. Shucks. Alright. So, like I said, I like to use this at the end of the round. Drives people nuts. Also, this works for constant consumption. Read the fine print, because some are destroy, some are... I don't know. But pretty much destroy and consumption are the 2 key things here. It also would give your buddy here, the Necker, a point by 1. Next card. Giant Toad. Giant Toad is nice because say you have that card you really don't want. Say you're playing, you know, a mix of Foglet, or say you have your warrior down and he's already consumed all your eggs and all you got is this guy and his consumption ain't going to do anything. Because say you don't have any Neckers down, you know, it's a little bit more difficult of a situation. You consume him using this, because this right here, it's also from the Witcher DLC Hearts of Stone. It's pretty cool. And for my clever subscribers out there, you guys will figure out, you know, what this is. The relevance between a giant toad. They call it giant toad, but, you know, it's the folklore of the prince toad. You know, the one that's got to get kissed to turn into a normal toad. I mean, a normal toad, a normal person. So with this card, it consumes a card from your hand. And, I would, in this case, I'd consume this. It'd give it an extra 5 on top of 5. You got 10. But the nice thing is, you get a redraw. So that card gets substituted with a random card from your deck. I shouldn't say random, the top card. And that's nice because there's some cards where it's like, oh, you know, a bronze card, you know. And that's nice, but, you know, I can't tell you how many times I play and I'll get a silver card, another one, or I'll get a gold card. You know, I'll get that one chrome that I need to get out the 20 points worth on that play, and that drives them nuts. It saved my ass multiple times. So this card right here, good. Oh, by the way, it's consuming. Your Necker just went up by another point. Or Neckers. Another one, Catacon. I like using this one. Obviously, common sense says you want to consume the strongest unit, but this card works great when you're playing certain cards that rely a lot on resurrection, such as the Skellige deck, such as the Nilfgaard deck, that relies on a bit of resurrection, but mostly, you know, getting that certain card out. So with this one, you consume a unit of your choice from either graveyard of your choice. That is nice, because there are certain cards that only let you do certain graveyards. So with this, I can't tell you how many times that person playing me in the Skellige deck has their cards all boosted in their graveyard, and they're just waiting to redeem it. And I'm like, you know what? Check it out, bitch. You know, and I'll consume that shit. Not only does this guy get, you know, like a 13-point boost, that's a normal one. So you have an 18-point card, 18-point play, people. Not only that, but guess what? Say it with me. Extra point towards the Necker. How many times have we boosted the Necker already just by talking? Freaking at least 10 times. And you guys are probably like, what? You know, I haven't gone over that many cards. But you guys are forgetting about the Vrown Warrior. That, excuse me, let me find it here. Right there. That keeps on consuming. So, you know, the eggs are all consumed. Well, it'll consume this guy. It'll consume whatever is in that row to its right, as long as it is not a gold card. I've already talked to you guys about the Caretaker, but, you know, for the new people watching, I'll explain it again. The Caretaker is awesome. He's from the Witcher DLC, Hearts of Stone. If only you could see his face, is actually pretty disturbing and, you know, kind of gave me the chills. He's a really cool and mystique character, per se. So 4 points, he's gold, you put him down. He can resurrect a card from your opponent's graveyard. Use this towards the end of a round. Use it towards the end of the third round. Use it at the beginning of the third round. Use it in the third round. And the reason why I say that is because this doesn't go, oh, cool, you know, you just got another couple of points. No, this reactivates the abilities as well. And I haven't used it enough to tell you for sure. I don't know whether or not this could resurrect gold cards. If it could, that'd be pretty dank. But I know it can resurrect silver cards. So, you know, with those cool abilities, like actually one time I used this first thing in Nilf card, and they had the spy card. So I resurrected it, and it boosted the amount of my allies by 10. And that was freaking great. You know, that was the most recent one. I've had this card for less than a day. Love it, guys. Definitely recommend it once you get your cards up there in your deck. This Draugr, I'll go over it again real quick. Damages 6 random units. 6 points worth on random units on your opponent's side, and it ignores armor. So for all those armor built up guys, ignores it. I love that. It's pretty intimidating. It's a 13-point play all around. This one right here, I already went over it, and this is, I think I'm actually going to switch that one out. But this card right here, I already went over it. It's a really nice card. You consume any unit in your hand, as long as it's not gold, and as long as, you know, it can be consumed. It's not some stupid weather card where it's not worth any points. So say somehow there's not even a 1-point card in the monster deck. Say you have some, you know what, let's speak logistics here. You have a Foglet. You don't have Fog, you just have a Foglet in your hand, and that's really shitty. You consume it with this, you add 2 points to the 8. By the way, this is really cool, but you boost your Necker by another point. How many times have I said that already? I'm getting annoyed saying it myself so much, but I can't get over it. Okay, so after that, you get an additional 8 on top of what you consumed. So that is, and by the way, that is with the worst card in the monster deck. That is an 18-point play overall. And by the way, it's legendary. It's gold. So that can't be touched unless they have a special card. And then finally for the gold one in this deck, I'm probably going to move this out because I'm going to try out different cards. But this is actually one you start the game with. Good old Geralt. And for all my Witcher fans out there, I hope you're Witcher fans because you're playing a Witcher game. You know who Geralt is. If you don't, then there's nothing I can do for you. So this guy has a Brave ability, I'm sure you know, for all my fellow Gwent players. Boosts itself by 3 if you're trailing after you put it down. That's nice, and it's also gold. Alright, now, on to the other stuff. So, these are Arcuses. And this is what I mentioned earlier with the lacerate thing. Look at that, that's pretty cool. So with Arcuses, or Arcus, probably Arcus, that's easier to say. When you put down one of these, all of them from your deck come out. All 3 of these, which is cool and everything. You know, that's a 9-point play. That's a great one for all of you fellow starters out there. This card's cheap to build too. I believe it's 80, if I recall, and that's probably on the expensive side. It's probably cheaper than that, if I recollect. Unless you're going for the premium here, which are the ones that move. They're pretty cool. I didn't buy this one. I actually, you know, won it, thank God. I got it out of the barrels. So the reason why, and I'll tell you guys something, this might shock you at first, but let me explain. When I get one of these in my deck, in my hand, I usually shuffle it out. Now that my deck's more built, and I'll tell you why. Because before I'd keep this, I'd get all pumped about it, you know. Oh yeah, you know, I got this down, that's sweet, 9-point play, 1 card. You know why I switch it out? This is great. See these 3 cards right here? 2 of them are going to move. This is the Arcus Behemoth. Look closely at that small card to the right of it. That's the Arcus. Every time this card is on the board, by the way, when you put it down, it gets a 2 shield automatically, or 2 armor. Every time a unit is consumed while this card is played, it spits out an Arcus. And guess what? Guess what, guys? If I put down all 3 of these at the same time, 3 Arcuses spawn for 1 consumption. it's almost as awesome, if not even more awesome, as the Necker. So that's the other cool thing. When you put this down, one of these comes out, you get 3 additional Arcuses or Arcus on top of the one that you just made, even if it's just one. So you have 4 of these total and then 1 of these, but then every time that this guy spits out an Arcus, it damages itself by 1. Universal gain 2 points. That's good. Okay. So let's just say you consume a unit and this play comes in the hand. That is 3, 6, 9, 12, and then plus 5. That is a 17-point play, my friends. A 17-point play. All of these plays I'm telling you about that I can recollect so far, they've been double-digit plays, besides this one. But, you know, that's where these guys come in handy. These are double-digit plays, people. These aren't that common. That's why I encourage you to get your deck started, work with the monster deck, and really start to build in it, because this stuff will only come to benefit you. And by the way, I'll mention this real quick. I did earlier, I'll do it again for the people watching now. But this is the Crone Wispus, Weavis, I'm getting these down, and then Brewis. These guys are pretty cool antagonists from The Witcher 3. They're pretty fucked up. And they're pretty scary. Not scary, but intimidating. But this is a 20-point play, people, and another multiple, you know, card play. Put down one of these, any one of these, the other 2 come out. 8, 2, 6, and 6. That's 20 points, guys. That's pretty awesome right there. That is a clutch card, my friends. I would say this is a clutch card as well. You know, but typically this is a card that I use towards the beginning of the first round, kind of to just get the dominant lead. Or I'll use it in the second round, depending on what my card in hand is. These are just some cards that I have for, you know, insurance, in case anybody uses a weather card. A lot of people like to use a weather card right here in the ranged combat realm, because that's where a lot of my cards will come into play. Or they'll use them up here to screw with these guys. So I got 3 of these in hand. And the cool thing about these cards, I'm sure you already know, the alternative is, and this is what I like so much better about this card than in The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3, if you had one of these, you had to use it. You know, you couldn't do this. So what happens here is that you have this rally card. You get the randomly, you know, you randomly select a bronze card comes out automatically, and you get to play it there, which comes in handy, you know, so you don't have to just waste this card. It's kind of like just redrawing. You have an opportunity to redraw 3 times. And that's, you know, pretty good insurance. So this is my last card in my consumption prototype deck. And that is Immune Boost. And plus it moves. That's pretty cool. So with this, I like to use it on, you know, my more important cards. So, you know, say it's the final round. And I'm always hesitant to use this card, you know, anywhere sooner than the last play, because I'm afraid that they're going to damage these cards and the values are going to go down. So when that happens, and if they don't damage the first play, I'll give it this. This has a universal boost of 9 points, and you also get 3 armor on each one of those guys. So think about it. You know, you got some extra insurance there. That's pretty much adding 6 to each one if you're going to include damage, you know, getting damaged. So think about that. That's an additional 9 on top of the 20. That's 29 points for these guys. How awesome is that? You don't got these guys? No big deal. Put them next to 3 adjacent units. If you're worried about placing, then put them right in your range if you're going to play a deck like this, because a lot of your cards are going to spawn right here. When you have these, harpies will spawn right here after the eggs get destroyed or get consumed. When you have this right here, these will go here every time because they're ranged. They have to go right there. So you add an additional 3 to these with a 3 armor. Each one of these becomes a 6, man. That's pretty solid. Okay, that is it for my consumption deck, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Maybe we'll get to these other decks some other time. For now, if it's alright with you guys, I'm going to start doing some play. I'm going to play a couple games here. I'm going to describe these the best that I can to you. While I do them, it's going to be hard because I'm going to try to focus. I'm not the best at this. I just started about 2 weeks ago. I am 22-8 in ranked matches, and it sucks because I hate making excuses, but about 3 of these I lost connection, and I was pretty pissed. So it should be 22 and, 5, or, freaking 25 and 5. Either way, that's a pretty solid record. You look at the best freaking person in the world, they're 293 and 237. That is a lot of losses, along with a lot of wins. And then look at the runner-up, 527 victories, 466 defeats. That is a lot of throwing your controller, my friends. Alright, and I have 2 draws. Draws are really annoying, because the thing that I have against this beta... By the way, people, this is a beta, so, this is just them testing things and adjusting cards, seeing how it goes before they release the game, which I will be purchasing. And I will let you guys know when I get more details about a release date, price range, and, improvements to the beta and the game, obviously. So the thing that I hate about draws is that you lose ranking points if you get in the tie with someone. Common sense says you shouldn't gain or lose points in that case. This is global, Europe is leading. North America is this dude. JM2115. So JM2115. I don't see him, unless I missed him. Dang, America's got to step it up, my friends. I'll be up there, give me a couple no lives later, and I'll be there. So, as hesitant as I am, as I always am, let's try this out. I'm going to try my consumption prototype. Call it a prototype because it's still a work in progress. I want to see how it's going, what I can improve on it, and what I can work on. What's up? They're upstairs. So what I can work on with this Gwent deck.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing a live broadcast. That was just my my good friend Zach. He heard that I was playing Monster Deck. I'll destroy your ass any day.
We've hammered enough.
What's your rank?
Get to work.
The gate.
Sorry about that, guys.
Secure.
We'll just see how this gameplay goes. So, with me specifically, see, I'm going to shuffle these guys out because I'll eventually get... Oh, there he is, right there. Look at that. And I also got him. This is a solid deck to start with. I'm going to keep the clear
Watch
weather.
and learn.
Piss off. Tell you what. I'm always so hesitant with this. Should I gamble or not? I think I'm going to keep this hand to be safe. It's a pretty solid deck. And I like this right here. Alright. So they got the 3 down. It's their turn. Good. I hate going first. I don't care. Okay, they got resilience. So this guy's going to the next round. Unless I kill him. But I don't want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my consumption move. Put him down. He's got the 2 armor instantly. See, he's putting down cards and he's going, oh, I'm getting a big lead on him. It's like, oh, baby, you haven't seen my deck yet. Let's do this. So I'm going to put these guys in range, and I do that on purpose because I can put them anywhere I want, but I put them on range so this guy right here can just go all the way across and keep on consuming. Not only that, but while this card's in my hand, it keeps on getting a point boost for every time a unit is consumed. This is where I'm going to make him shit his pants. Ready? Let's do it. Where'd the lead go? Exactly. That's the first step to consumption. And look at that, he got a 1-point boost. Now, I may or may not put him out later. If this guy was smart, he'd lock him. Yep, he's gonna do it. Unless he's stupid. Okay, he's not stupid. I'm glad to hear. Alright, since I don't have a resilience card, normally I would put him down and I would consume this bad boy right here and keep on moving the train. But instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fuck with him. I'm gonna go like this. The reason why I do that is so I can get that boost to him, which is 6 points, plus the additional 3 from the Doom Notion. So right now it's 51 to 48, and he's got a pretty solid start here, but luckily we're able to get the edge on him. And one thing I like to keep a close eye on is graveyards, because if there's a good card in the graveyard, like when that bad boy goes to the graveyard, chances are he's going to try to resurrect him unless I consume him and use him myself. Or I can play him, but I'm probably going to consume him. Alright, so since I am kind of hesitant here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the consumption train rolling.
The gate must be secure.
Get rid of him for protection. I'm going to consume this bad boy. And we'll consume him for protection. And my other guy is going to keep on consuming as well. So my Arcus, as you can see, has 1 life, the Arcus Behemoth. And that means he can boost up 1 more of these little guys, which he'll do next round. Next turn. Unless he gets damaged. Oh, cool, your guys are getting resilience. I don't care, because I'm going to beat you this round. And then next round I'll let you have the win, and then we will decide in round 3, which I am clutch. Alright, let's put down the Necker, because I have 3 Neckers, which means that if he doesn't kill it, it's just going to keep on coming back every round. If he kills it, it's going to come back and he's going to waste an attack.
They use tired my tongue about that.
Keeps on boosting his other guys. I know that if you have a dwarf down, they boost each other or something like that, but you know what? I got the lead. That's cool. I have 5 units in my graveyard. I love this because I have this guy right here I'm going to use in round 3 or the final round. So when I have all of these guys, with the exception of the gold, in the graveyard, that is going to be a huge advantage for me, because this guy will increase exponentially. Unless I want to consume a card right now, which I don't. Alright. Tell you what, we're going to use up this clear weather card. It's another Necker. That can be perceived in one of 2 ways, good or bad. I am going to say bad, because... Right now I'm going to say bad. Because I can't... There's only going to be 1 more Necker coming out. And, that's going to be the next round. Unless I get the Necker Warrior, which will give me 2 more of these bad boys. So I'm really hoping you get the Necker Warrior. We'll see how it goes. So I can pass, or I can put down another card. Now, I am going to... It's shitty as this is, because he's got 27 points going to the next round. I will have 10. Ugh. This hurts my heart. As much as this hurts my heart, I gotta do it. I gotta force them to pass, guys. So that's what I'm gonna do. Because if I don't do it, these guys are gonna go to the next round, and I'm gonna be hurting with a loss and potentially another loss. So I gotta do everything I can to secure this win. So let's do it, guys.
We're all dressed up.
I like to save that card for the 3rd round. Ooh, they even match. Look, you got the full cauldron. But I like to save this card for the 3rd round, but I have to use it here to force him to submit. Because now we have the same amount of cards, and I'm up by 20 points. He'd be stupid to keep on going and try to take the lead, unless he's got a special card.
Oh, if anyone's got any hooch left.
Well, I mean, that was stupid of him. Besides the fact that I think it boosted his cards a little bit. Yeah, boosted him to a 31. And that's pretty good. So all I gotta do is get the win here and go to the next round. So I'm not really left with that many choices here, because I can pass and let him win, or I can keep on going and let him win the next round and get rid of these 2 cards potentially. So I'm going to put down this guy, and I'm going to consume the strongest card in this case. And that also gives my Neckers a 1-point boost, as I explained earlier. By the way, guys, this is a ranked match, so, it counts. This is my name on the line, guys. Wish me luck. Hurts my heart, man. But the good news is that this card will come in handy. Let me look at his cards real quick, because I can resurrect one of these, and I will. Strengthen all the other bronze and silver dwarves. I don't have dwarves. I don't know what Mulligan means. I hate being dumb. I wish I could resurrect that. That'd be awesome. Well, I'm going to potentially resurrect one of his bad boys here. Alright, 119 to 194. Both have 2 cards. He is going to start the lead with a 31-point lead. Ouch. Right? That sucks. Well, no need to fear, my friends. We are still in good shape. And that certainly helps right there. So, he's going to... If he thinks I'm stupid, he thinks I'm going to play right now, but I'm probably not. Let's see. Nope. Resurrect a unit. Alright, I'm not stupid. Let's call it. On to the final round. Let's do this. Now, I'm actually at my friend's house right now, and a lot of my friends just showed up, so after this match, I'm actually going to leave. But I will be back on. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. I'm begging you. I literally started this I started this yesterday. And I love it. I love Gwent, and I love games, and I want to see what you guys think, and I'm doing this for you guys, you know? Ha! This boy. Oh, okay. Strength is the highest. Oh, okay, I get it. Now I'm just intimidated. So, I really wanted him to put down like a card that was over 10, so I could put him down and get an extra 3 points. But it doesn't look like it's gonna happen, guys. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Tell you what. Unfortunately, that Necker's not there. Let's do a little bit of playing. I want him to try to hurt these. If he doesn't, that's cool. Just a card to put down to see what he has. I want him to use his attack cards now rather than later, because if this card gets killed before that one, then it's useless. You know, I just wasted a card. I think it's gonna pay off. Is he boosting me? Because he's gonna boost me, I think. Oh, he's moving them. Okay, I see. I see. He thinks I'm gonna consume. Well, the only consumption I have is right here for now. And he has that lead I wanted, so I'm gonna do this. Tie game, baby. Ooh, baby. Alright. We are in a game, guys. Ah, okay. 2-point lead. He ain't gonna protect him, think I'm gonna hurt him, but I'm not. Just kidding. I am. You know what? I'm going to save these two. I'm going to use this one first, and we're going to take out the band guy. Alright. Look at that, man. That would have been only 3 points in damage if it included the armor, but it ignored the armor. It took off 6 points, baby. Look at that. Look at that.
I will not let this become a second saga.
She's gonna hurt me. That's cool. I don't care. Only 4 points is a tie game, man. I ain't worried about shit. See, that's what I'm happy about, guys, because he's got one card left. I'm going to use this card last, because this is going to pretty much secure the win if he doesn't have a huge card. So I have to think about which card I want to resurrect. This is the tough part. This.
Ah, they used to tire my tongue about that.
Alright, 9-point play. Please kill it. Please kill it. Ha! Y'all ain't got shit. I'm gonna make him watch this. Alright, guys, I'm gonna do this for you as well. Not just because, you know, I want to tease him. But all those cards in my graveyard, bang. 25 points, my friends. 25 points! Isn't that nuts? 25 points. That one card. Look at that. Secured the win right there. It was a very close game. I put down one card, my last card, so we couldn't do anything to it. And it damaged it by 25 points. That was a great win. Not only that, but look at that. The guy was 7 levels above me. How nuts is that? Alright, and you see it was a high-scoring game. I let him win the second round just so those cards couldn't be resilient. And, see ya. But, sorry about that. I was talking to my friends. But, as you can see, I got a couple rewards for it. Watch my gameplay! But, got a couple scraps. Match win. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to put in another game for you guys. And I get this feeling in my stomach every time I play. It's just like, do I want to? Look at that. I can't stop now. I'm 40 points away from getting ranked up again, to rank 10. And I've been playing for 2 weeks. Alright, let's do this. For all you that just showed up, you know, my name's CLASSICMAN9769. You can just call me Classic. I just started a YouTube channel yesterday. I'm going to focus on a lot of different categories of gaming. I'm going to focus on a good amount of Gwent. I'll do a little bit of The Witcher. And this is kind of different, but I'm going to do some NBA2K because I love NBA2K. And we're going to focus on a couple different games. I'm also going to be having a co-ownership with a successful gaming channel named Kong, Critics of New York Gaming. And we are going to discuss current events about gaming, such as the Super Nintendo Mini just came out, and we're going to talk about that for a bit. But right now, let's just get back to the main subject, which is Gwent. So, as I said before, in this ranked match, we're going to play with the consumption prototype that I've been building and working on. Hold up one second. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, let's do this. So as I said before, this is mainly going to focus on the monster deck. So this is, now personally, the two tougher decks, and I think the hardest opponent to fight against is Nilfgaard. Just because there's so many things they can do. They can resurrect, they have a bunch of spies that boost them like crazy, and they've actually patched it a bit so it's not as, you know, crazy. But they're pretty difficult to play if you don't have the right cards. Right here I have a decent start. I have 2 Neckers, which is, you know, okay, so I'm going to shuffle out one of them. Okay, I got the Arcus, that's what I wanted. Unfortunately, I don't have my friendly lizard friend, the Vron Warrior. So let's get this started. It is their turn, thank God. And this is a great card. This guy... Okay, what did he put in my graveyard? He consumed an Arcus. That sucks. But you know what? Life goes on. Oh, okay.